What's going on, folks? TJ Lauerman, aka That Sports Gamer here, baseball community manager for Out of the Park Developments, makers of Out of the Park Baseball and the Franchise Hockey Manager series, as well as MLB Manager on your mobile devices. Tonight, I am joined by the inimitable Snaggle J. I always say inimitable. I don't really know what that means, but I think it's a good thing.
It sounds like it means a good thing.
It does, right?
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to take it as a positive thing.
Snaggle J is a good associate of mine. I will also call him Chris, that also being his real name. I implore you to follow him on Twitter at SnaggleJ. You can also check out his YouTube channel, youtube.com/slash SnaggleJ. I believe he's doing Vlogmas over there.
I am.
That seems to be going good for you.
Oh, it's great.
So tonight, we are going to be talking about the up-to-the-minute goodness going on with the hot stove of MLB. I did a stream on Saturday. I think the last big news that we talked about on that was the Cespedes signing. Was it Cespedes? I think so. Was it Saturday? Yeah. Might have been Friday. Whatever day that happened, we talked about that. But
yeah,
stuff is going
Cespedes
on.
Cespedes signing was a week ago today.
It was a week ago today.
Yeah. Yeah, November 30th.
Interesting.
Is when it was. Yep.
All right, so let's. I guess we should just recap what's happened since then.
Yeah.
Is that okay? Can we do that?
We sure can. There's been some mostly minor things, but there's been obviously the last 2 days have been a little bit crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of got started. I think the same day as the Cespedes thing, you had a few minor signings. The Twins signed Jason Castro. The Braves, locked up a couple guys. Sean Rodriguez, I think, got $11.5 million over 2 years.
Yep.
Then you had Thursday. You had the Jaime Garcia trade. Again, a good piece for the rebuilding Braves. A kind of a minor trade, but still, it kind of flew under the radar. I think it was a good move for them.
Yeah, that was as I've shown, though not successfully in this franchise that I've got up. The Braves have a lot of good stuff coming up, but they just need some stuff to bridge those gaps right now. So Sean Rodriguez being able to play a whole bunch of positions is very handy for them.
Yeah, I think what it does is it allows them to use his flexibility to make sure that all those younger players get an adequate amount of off days. If somebody like Swanson goes into a slump, Rodriguez can play shortstop for a couple days, give him a little bit of a break. I think a utility player is useful on any team, but on a very young team like that, I think it's very helpful. I mean, you saw the Cubs are a very young team, and I think Zobrist fit in really nicely there, doing the similar kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Then you had the Marlins signed Edison Volquez, again, a kind of under the out of the radar move that they made. I like Volquez at $11 million a year. I think that's a good value for them.
And he pitched pretty good last year, so I was surprised that
he did. Yeah, his stuff seems to be getting better with age. Apparently, I mean, I saw him a few times last year, and I mean, he just kills the Blue Jays. So I'm glad to see him in the other league now. Friday and Saturday, you had the non-tender deadline. So there were some big names that got non-tendered. Wellington Castillo, Chris Carter, Tyson Ross, pretty much headlined that. Tyson Ross, I think, was kind of surprised a lot of people. Not sure why the Padres felt like it was time to cut him, but so be it. He's out there.
Yeah. There's talk about where he's going. I forget who I was seeing was interested in him earlier.
I haven't seen anything in the last day or so. Again, because I think a lot of the beat guys are focusing on the more.
There's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on right now.
There's a lot of upper tier guys right now.
I think like Pirates, Braves, Rangers are all interested in him.
Yeah.
That's Yankees.
That sounds. I think I saw that report. Yeah. And then you had a couple of quiet days, and then Monday was the day where things kind of exploded. You had the Astros sign Beltran to a $16 million 1-year deal, which I like, I guess. Again, it gives them an experienced bat in the lineup. He switch hits. maybe 16 million is a little bit pricey, but it's only a 1 year commitment. So what are you going to do? I mean, I'm sure they're going to get close to their money's worth out of it, hopefully. Right. The Dodgers re-signed Rich Hill, 3 years, $48 million. I'm not a big fan of that because Rich Hill's never shown the ability to stay any kind of healthy and pitch with any kind of consistency. So to give a guy $16 million for that, I mean, it's the Dodgers, so what do they care? They're just paying anybody that'll take their money at this point. So,
yeah. Well, we'll see. He was pitching for the Long Island Ducks last year, right? Or 2 years ago.
Well, yeah, yep.
So that's a big step up from where he was.
And then the move I hate the most, and a lot of people are on my side here, but the Giants giving $62 million to Mark Melancon.
That seemed like a deal that was going to happen. So
I mean, the thing is, of all the big closers that are out there, for Melancon to be the first to go and to get $15.5 million a year is like, well, wow, like what's Jansen going to get? What is Chapman going to get?
Yeah.
It's a bit silly.
Yeah, it's looking like those guys are going to be getting 20 mil plus, or somewhere in the 20 mil range.
I would say
4 years, 80 million, something like that.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if you saw one of them get $500 million. I mean, if bidding gets intense all of a sudden for them.
Yeah, it's getting crazy out there right now.
Yeah. Blue Jays signed Steve Pearce, 2 years, $12.5 million. I like it. I like Steve Pearce. Blue Jays Nation on Twitter hates it, but they're all dumb. Blue Jays, as I've said on your show, Blue Jays Twitter, the worst.
Is Justin Smoke still on the team, or is he a free agent?
Yeah, no, they re-signed him to a 2 year, I think it was $10 or $12 million deal or $8 million year during the season.
So are they going to just platoon them?
Well, I think that depends right now. I mean, right now they have no right fielder, they have no first baseman, so Steve Pearce can play the outfield a little bit. I think a lot depends on what they do. I mean, it's Steve Pearce. He's very good against lefties. A lot has been made about that, but he might actually be better against righties than Justin Smoke is. Mm-hmm. It was not a good year for Justin Smoke. He got that small little extension and then he just disappeared. So the Jays, I think, have some more moves left to make. How big or small they are, who really knows? And then that moves us to yesterday. And I don't know if you heard, but there was a couple of big trades.
Tell me
even bigger than the big trades, the Phillies signed Joaquin Benoit. Gave him $7.5 million for 1 year.
I mean, I guess that's not bad.
No, he pitched really well with the Blue Jays once he came over from the Mariners. He was very, very, very good. And then he got unfortunately hurt during their wild card celebration. So
did he really?
He did, yeah. It was during the brawl with the Yankees. A week before the season ended. Coming out of the dugout, he rolled his ankle on the step but he had pitched really good. Now, to be fair, he pitched really, really good in 6th and 7th inning situations. So it'd be interesting to see. Obviously, with the Phillies, he's probably going to have a back of the bullpen job, I would assume. But that would be good. I mean, on a 1 year deal, if he goes out there in the 8th and 9th inning and pitch really well, they'll probably try to flip him at the trade deadline, and so be it. But the big trades, the Red Sox acquired some guy, Chris Sale.
Yeah, that's really wasn't expecting that.
No,
I feel like there was a lot of teams that were getting talked about in the mix for Sale, but it was like that. What day was this? It was Monday.
It was yesterday. The Sale trade was yesterday.
So I think it was. So it must have been like late Monday night. I heard like, oh, Red Sox might be interested in Sale. I was like, that's interesting. And then like, was it middle of the day, Tuesday or Wednesday? It was done. Or Tuesday it was done.
Well, all the talk heading into it was he was going to the Nationals, and it was just hinging on whether or not Giolito was going to be involved, who we'll get to in a minute. But it seemed like the Nationals were close. I mean, Sale was a good fit. The Nationals had people that the White Sox were interested in. And then, yeah, I think just right out of nowhere, late into Monday night, it seemed like, a few guys. I think John Heyman might have been the first one to tweet out that Boston was seriously interested and that they were, beyond just, hey, can we get Chris Sale from you? Now, the return was 4 prospects: Yoan Moncada, Michael Kopech, who are the big 2 that everyone's talking about, Luis Alexander and Victor Diaz. They're no slouches. They're very good. But obviously this deal hinges on Moncada, who is the number 1 rated prospect in baseball right now. And Michael Kopech, who a lot of people in the industry are comparing to Noah Syndergaard at the moment.
That's not a bad comparison.
It's not a bad comparison. Now, and the thing is, so I saw somebody tweet this out last night comparing him to Syndergaard, and I was like, well, no. But if you go back and look at when Syndergaard was traded from Toronto to New York, very, very similar. Very little experience above A-ball, very high strikeout totals. All people really ever talked about was their gas. Obviously, with Syndergaard, his fastball is probably not his best pitch. I mean, when he's got the curveball going, that's, it's probably one of the better curveballs in the league. So again, it's a gamble for the White Sox. I mean, Kopech could get up to the higher levels of the minors and not be able to find the strike zone, or, people can figure him out. But all in all, I think a lot of people are pretty pleased with this deal from both sides. I don't think you can say that there's one side that's a clear winner at this point, obviously.
Yeah, the White Sox are just. I really didn't expect them to do much, and they've been making moves.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah. I mean, we can fast forward to just a couple hours ago when they traded Adam Eaton and his 5 years of team control to the Nationals for Giolito, Reynaldo Lopez, and Dale Dunning. So, I mean, they traded their 2 best assets. And got 3 very dynamic starting pitching prospects, probably the best position player prospect in baseball, and 3 other prospects who are, top 100 guys who have, maybe not superstar potential, but have everyday player potential.
Yeah, I didn't realize that apparently people have really come back on Giolito. Because from everything I had heard, was this kid's going to be a star, and now he's getting traded for Adam Eaton, who, don't get me wrong, is a solid player, but I did not think he was worth that kind of haul. But again, I always get weird when you're dealing in prospects, because it's like you really have no idea. You could have the best player, and then he comes up, and it's like, okay, well, that guy's not really that good. We're gonna have to send him back down and up and down, and then he never amounts to anything. There's always that risk.
Well, there is a risk. I mean, if you look at Giolito is a perfect example of, you got to get them to the big leagues to see what they can do. I mean, you look at Giolito, look at his last 4 years on the Baseball America prospect list. He went from 67 to 21 to 7, and then this season he opened at number 5. So, he's been on the radar for several years. I play in a dynasty fantasy baseball league where I'm pretty sure Giolito was drafted 4 years ago. People knew of him, knew about him. Mm-hmm. But I mean, you look at his stats from this season. He really didn't even get off to a good start. I mean, in Double-A, he had 34 walks in 71 innings. That's not great. It's not terrible, but for a guy who you're trying to fast track, it's like, well, he's walking 4.5 guys per 9 innings. Maybe we should give him a little more time.
Yeah.
But they obviously thought, better of it. Do I think that 4 starts in the big leagues is enough to say, well, they obviously didn't believe in him? Well, no. But they were 4 ugly, ugly starts.
Yeah, I'm trying to pull up Reynaldo Lopez's because they were saying he is now the better one. I guess he had 11 starts, 5-3 with a 4.91 ERA. But I mean, a small sample size. Can't really. Let me pull up his minor league stats. IRO.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. And again, Reynaldo Lopez, another guy who has been on the radar for some time.
Throughout the year, splitting time with AA and AAA, he finished 5-7 with a 3.21 ERA, 1.143 WHIP, 7.4 Ks per nine. So
yeah. Well, yeah, and you look at his AA. Look at his AA numbers: 100 Ks and 25 walks in 76 innings. Now he wasn't able to keep that K rate going through AAA and through the majors, but Lopez is an interesting case because he was very highly rated a few years ago, and then his 2015 was not very good. He had a lot of Ks. He didn't have a lot of walks, but he was hurt and he was hit around probably worse than you would like to see one of your better pitching prospects get hit around. So he actually fell almost completely off Baseball America's prospect list at the start of the season. He was all the way down to 92nd after being 49th the year before.
It's quite a fall.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing. And again, you know what? We always talk about this when people make these trades. You just don't know. You just don't know with these kids. Maybe they could end up having a unbelievable 1-2 punch even a 1-2-3 punch if you factor Kopech into it. Maybe only one of them pans out.
Well, wasn't also who was wasn't the other kid like a number one pick from last year? Who's the third guy in
Dale Dunning?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not. He was ranked 6th. I thought I seen. Where is he? Yeah, I thought I seen someone quote that he was ranked 6th in the national system this year.
Yeah, I thought he was supposed to be pretty good. I cannot figure out how you spell his last name.
I don't know. I don't even think he has an MILB page.
I could probably just search for
or a MILB, a baseball reference page. Sorry.
I'm obviously spelling his name wrong. Dale Dunning. No, Dane.
Oh, it's Dane?
Dane Dunning. That's why.
Well, there you go.
That changes everything. Oop, got music playing.
6'4".
Yeah, he was the first round pick last year for them.
Hey, previously drafted by the Toronto Blue Jays in the 34th round in 2013. Another Toronto screw the pooch.
Yeah, he was the 29th overall pick last year. I feel like first round picks, people are just trading them away like they don't even care anymore. We saw Swanson get traded. This guy is getting traded.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on anymore.
Well, and that's, I guess that's the risk that these teams take when they believe that they are that close to winning a championship. It's, listen, is Adam Eaton a difference maker for the Washington Nationals? Probably. They do some things. If they let them bring Trey Turner into play, shortstop, which is his natural position.
I think that's like the biggest thing. From this.
Yeah, they get they have him for 5 years, so he's got a lot of team control. He's pretty not cost certain, but they have a general expansion of what his salary is going to be. It gives them a bit of cost certainty, and with the possibility of them losing Bryce Harper.
Yeah, I think I feel like that's like the main thing that they're doing is preparing for that.
And that's the thing is, it's all relative to one another. Again, it's hard to say, well, who won, who lost. People will try to say, well, I think this because people are going to, clickbait and things like that. So you got to reserve judgment. Again, Giolito could go to the White Sox and could be unbelievably dominating, or he could be just absolutely terrible.
Yeah.
And then two other moves. The Ian Desmond signing was finalized today. 5 years, $70 million in Colorado. I don't know if I get that from Colorado's standpoint. They're talking about Ian Desmond playing first base for them.
I think they're more setting up for another move, either a Blackman or a Cargo getting traded.
Well, and the thing is that, but they have with Blackman and Cargo, and they have David Dahl in the pipe still. Who's going to be a very good everyday major league outfielder. I think it's probably setting up something else. I mean, we've heard Blackman rumblings. The Jays were involved in a very short Charlie Blackman rumor earlier today where Colorado, or somebody said Colorado wouldn't trade Blackman for Stroman straight up. And I'm like, oh, good, thanks.
Yeah.
And
I don't
the
think
other
the Blue Jays were offering that also.
No, Stroman's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
And then you had the Yankees Matt Holliday signing, which he got $13 million and a no trade clause to one team.
Yeah.
The Oakland Athletics.
Sorry, Oakland. That's kind of harsh.
That's bad. Like, you're a veteran of the league. You're going to New York on a 1-year deal, and your only request is, I need you to put a no trade so I can't get traded to Oakland.
Yeah,
anyone else is fine. I'll go to Tampa. I'll go anywhere else, but I will not go to Oakland. I think it means that Matt Holliday has some sort of bathroom cleanliness phobia.
Highly possible.
That would be my guess. And last but not least, we had the Wade Davis trade. Wade Davis to the Cubs for Jorge Soler. Again, that's got to be a win for the Cubs.
Yeah, because I felt like Soler was going to be the odd man out in that outfield.
Yeah, he was.
So, I mean, they gave up something that they probably didn't really want a ton to do with.
Yeah,
for not much.
Again,
they get back a new great closer.
Yeah, and Davis does have some health concern. I think he was injured on 2 separate occasions this year. I know he did spend some time on the DL. But I mean, you can't argue with the fact that, just look at his numbers. 2014, his ERA was 1.00 in 72 innings. 2015, 0.94 in 67 innings. And this season, he only pitched 43 innings, but 1.87. You really, really can't argue with his dominance coming out of the bullpen.
Yeah, and I heard they're even talking to Greg Hollins there at the winter meetings. So they're going to try to rebuild this Royals bullpen from a couple years ago.
Oh, they should. Absolutely. Yeah, so that's pretty much it for confirmed done deal moves. One note I did make, and somewhere where we can kind of go with this, is now that the Nationals have acquired Adam Eaton, what becomes of Andrew McCutchen?
That's a great question. I thought McCutchen was a better choice than Eaton. Apparently, there are others that disagree. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if the Pirates keep him. I think they still want to move him. I still don't think the Braves should do anything crazy and try to get him. Though he would be nice. I feel like he's what you want Matt Kemp to be.
Right.
Kinda. I feel like they're kind of the same player, or at least prime Matt Kemp was kind of what McCutchen is.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit more power. But it would be nice if we could get him, but I just feel like that would be giving up a lot. I don't know if I really want to do that.
Okay, so 2 follow-up questions. One, that package that they got Adam Eaton for, Giolito, Lopez, and Dunning, do you think Pittsburgh would have taken that for McCutchen? And follow-up question to that, do you think the Nationals went a different direction because McCutchen is only under contract for the next 2 years?
Probably. because knowing that you're gonna have to do something with McCutcheon and Bryce Harper, you probably get a little more worried that way.
Yeah.
How long is how long has Worth still got left?
One moment. My opinion on the first question is I think that if they offered that deal to Pittsburgh, that Pittsburgh absolutely would take it.
Yeah, I think actually Pittsburgh would want some defensive players. I feel like they have a couple, at least 2 or 3 pitchers that are like coming up real soon.
Worth is only under contract for this year.
Yeah, so in theory, if you had the 2017 outfield of Worth, McCutcheon, and Bryce Harper, there's a possibility that in 2019 you have none of them.
Very true.
So at least this guarantees you Adam Eaton in center for quite a while. What was it? I think it's 2021 he's good till?
Yeah, the next 5 seasons, yeah.
So, I mean, that at least that locks you down there, because it looks like Michael Choice is not going to be the choice of the next Nationals generation. Though I didn't hate Trey Turner playing center field, but he's obviously way more valuable at shortstop to them.
Yes, I don't disagree there. I think, again, this is the Nationals trying to better their roster and at the same time have an eye towards the future. Sure, McCutcheon is probably the better player, than Adam Eaton, but Adam Eaton gives you some cost certainty. He gives you an outfielder beyond 2018. So, it's interesting. Again, I don't know what Pittsburgh does from here. I really don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you give me 1 second? I need to step away for 1 moment.
Yeah, no problem.
I
Absolutely.
I also accidentally left the delays on the stream thing, so give me 2 seconds before you start talking again.
Okay. That's fine.
All right, it should be good in a half a second, I think.
Okay.
Just waiting for the video to come back up.
Oh, no problem.
People can hear us talking to a black screen. That's
fine.
Fun.
Guys,
I have great news, by the way. Before I step away for 1 minute.
What?
While we were talking, I had the 2018 first-year player draft.
Yes.
Number 1 overall pick, because my team was absolutely awful. We drafted a center fielder, Grant Burton, out of high school, 18 years old. He's got potential on the 20 to 80 scale of 75 power, or 75 gap power, 65 eye discipline, 55 home run power, 60 contact. Dude's a steelster. Good speed, good outfield range, good outfield arm. He can play center. He can play right. I'm hoping he's a beast. San Juan Capistrano, California.
I see that. I'm looking at him.
All right, I'll be right back.
That's no problem. I got it under control.
Please pimp yourself to the viewers.
Oh, that won't be necessary. I don't need to pimp myself out. But so guys, what we're talking about, while TJ is very excited about his Grant Burton, talking about the hot stove guys. What do you guys think on any of the moves that have happened? What do you guys think are some of the moves that haven't happened that you'd like to see? Has your team done enough? Have they done nothing? I mean, there's 6 or 7 teams out there that have not spent a dime yet. Does that concern you if you're a fan of those teams? Let us know in the chat. M.Frisk joined to a black screen. That's always a wonderful stream turn off when you join and the screen is black. But I assure you that Sports Gamer has ironed out all the kinks. That's maybe being a little too confident in his skills. But yeah, let us know in the chat, guys, what you guys think. Like I said, what moves you guys like. Honestly, can't believe the Wade Davis versus Soler trade. Yeah, we were just talking about the Wade Davis versus Soler trade. We were both in agreement that it seems to be a steal for the Cubs. Again, Soler could be one of those guys that a change of scenery doesn't good. Got some big gaps to hit into there at Kauffman Stadium. So maybe he could turn it around. He's going to get 650 at bats this year. That's for sure. Thoughts on Shohei Ohtani?
Which is perfect because that brings up another topic I want to talk about. But before we get there,
okay,
2 things.
Yes.
If you're watching now, don't forget, top of the hour, Adam and Jeff will be here doing Franchise Hockey Manager 3.
That's right. Stick around. It's going to be a good time.
Secondly, who is going to play center for the Dodgers? Not Dodgers, sorry, the Cubs. Because it wasn't going to be Soler.
Almora?
Might be. Okay, there. Just wanted to make sure that there was an answer.
Almora?
I think Almora would be the center fielder.
They still have John Jay, right?
I think so.
They still have they signed John Jay to an $8 million contract 1 year. So again, John Jay is going to be, according to Roto World, he is going to platoon with Albert Almora in center field.
And they also have Caesar, I guess, but I don't think he plays. He's more of a corner outfielder. But yeah, I was thinking. I mean, you probably wouldn't move Hayward to center.
No.
And you're gonna have
Frisk is saying you think Fowler can't. I think the chances of Fowler re-signing with the Cubs are probably 0.
Yeah, I was actually hearing Cardinals for him.
Cardinals, yeah, the Cardinals have been in and out. The Blue Jays have been rumored quite frequently as well. I'm sure there's probably someone will probably I should tweet it out. Mystery team in on Dexter Fowler. See if I can get some traction with that in the sports reporting community. But yeah, I think Cardinals are a likely landing spot. I don't think the Jays are going to be able to afford them given the price that Ian Desmond just got.
Yeah. Yeah, so Hayward wouldn't play center, and you have Schwarber in the other corner outfielder. I don't think Soler is going to be able to. Soler would not be your center fielder. So yeah, he was definitely expendable. Hey, you know what? And if you want Hayward to play center, you put Schwarber in right. You put Chris Bryant in left, and you go about your business.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I think the thing is that if Soler was going to be your 4th outfielder, I think that role is probably going to be taken by Matt Sklzer, however you pronounce it.
I believe it is Caesar, which doesn't look right.
2 Z's in his name. But yeah, I think he's probably going to be their 4th fielder. He was pretty good in a cup of coffee.
Yeah, Soler is making what, $13 million next year. So I mean,
I definitely think for the Cubs it's a no-brainer. Again, we were pumping Davis's tires pretty hard here a few minutes ago, and yeah, I definitely think they got the better of that deal.
I think Soler is under contract. Yeah. I'm sorry. It was 21 million. Right? 20. No, Soler's only making 3.6 million next year.
Right.
Why did I think? Or maybe it was the total of all these years. I mean,
and again,
that's not a bad deal. I mean,
no, and for the Royals, yeah, but he's locked up for 4 years, and again, he's only going to get a raise to 4.66 million. So, you're only going to pay the guy not even $20 million over the next 4 years. So he could really blossom into something nice for Kansas City.
Yeah, if he can just cut those strikeouts down, he could be really something special.
Yeah,
if he get that power back and bring the strikeouts down, I think
he has the typical problem that the majority he's Cuban, so the majority of young Cuban players have when they come to the big leagues is they don't walk enough and they strike out too much.
Yep.
So Gold 1254 was asking what we thought about Shohei Ohtani.
Oh, can I go back to your Cuban thing for a second?
Oh yes, go back to the Cuban thing. Yes, because I feel like I just threw all the Cubans under the bus.
Yeah, because I want to talk about a guy that he did strike out a lot, but he has a great batting average. I do wonder if the White Sox are going to try to move Jose Abreu. I am a huge Jose Abreu fan.
I think at this point you would be foolish not to.
Yeah, I think if this is what they're doing, they need to go all in, dump all these guys, and I feel like they've traded everybody that kind of stood up for Adam LaRoche.
Yeah,
because after that whole thing that went down, Chris Sale was not a fan.
No,
and I feel like he's been trying to get out of there.
Well, and he had the incident with the throwbacks as well.
Yeah, I feel like he's been trying to get out of there since all that stuff went down.
Yeah, I think if you're the White Sox, your first priority should be trying to move Todd Frazier.
Yeah, I hear the
Todd,
Dodgers are interested.
yeah, there's a few teams that are interested. I know the Rockies were rumored to be interested for him at first base, but
I
now
can see
that they've signed Desmond, that's probably dead.
Yeah, and I think if there's going to be a first base play, I feel like you're going to want
He goes
Trumbo
out,
over Frazier.
maybe you keep him and hope that he goes
Yeah.
out and starts the year super hot. You know, I think he's eventually should be moved, but I don't know now is the right time.
Giolito just tossed a shutout in the Braves franchise against
Sick.
against us. Great, excellent.
For some reason, I'm currently watching an ad,
He went
and it's a Battlefield 1 ad.
Oh, nice. He went 16-10 in 2017, and then 3-2 so far in 2018.
Hey.
I guess we can talk about Shohei Ohtani now.
We can.
I don't know all the ins and outs of the CBA stuff that went down.
Yes.
And if people are going to ask, we have no comment on the CBA stuff for Out of the Park Baseball 18. We have no comment on anything for Out of the Park Baseball 18. But we always try to provide the most accurate baseball experience. So that's neither confirmation or deniation that stuff will be in. But we're gonna try our hardest to get all that stuff in.
That was very political of you, Ramon. I mean, TJ.
Yeah.
I can touch on the CBA part if you want to give your opinion based on that.
Yeah, I just know that he's not going to make a lot of money until he's 25, so they got to wait
That's
a while.
the thing. Well, what it is, he can make a lot of money, but the team international spending money now applies to any free agents under the age of 25. So until he turns 25, he can only be paid within the international bonus pool,
Which is like
allotted.
nothing, right?
Yes,
Like
and it has
2
severe penalties for going over.
It's like 2.5. Is that something like that?
Yeah.
Or-
Yes, and now I haven't been able to get confirmation. Understanding is that if he were to be posted, because he is under contract in Japan, that the posting fee would also count against the international bonus pool money. Now, I don't know if that's actually factual. I haven't been able to find a specific answer. But if that's the case, Ohtani's not coming over for some time.
Yeah. Now, I don't know if it was true or not, but I saw a tweet. I believe it was Eno Saris and someone else were discussing it. So I don't know if it's true or they were just speculating that they were wondering now that this is gonna hamper Japanese teams that could make a ton of money off doing these postings. They were, I don't know if they were just floating out the idea that maybe a company like Samsung or one of the companies that owns one of those Japanese teams, maybe they would go out and spend money on some big name prospects here and sign them and bring them over to Japan, which I think is all good and all. But as we just said, all these prospects, like, you never know. Like, they could go pay the number one kid out of high school right now to go play in Japan. But you don't really know.
Well, this is 2 consecutive CBAs now where MLB and their owners have attempted to curb Japanese players and Japanese teams especially getting big paydays. Again, we all remember the Daisuke Matsuzaka, $104 million fiasco, $50 million to the team, $50 million to him. And then in the last CBA, they limited it to a $20 million maximum posting system. And then any team that bid the $20 million maximum, that the player could decide which contract he wanted to accept. And now we have this. And now I've done a quick bit of research. According to Yahoo Sports and Ken Rosenthal and several other articles, the MLB has said they will not make an exception for Shohei Ohtani or anybody else. They don't care how good you are. There will be no exception.
And I guess the thought was he was going to come over. He had pretty much said he was coming over anyway. So
yes,
or that was the theory.
Teams are limited to a $5 million spending cap. Now, they could trade for enough international bonus cap money, but there is absolutely no way that Ohtani could make more than $10 million if he came over before age 25. So, I mean, what's the point at that, if you're him?
Right.
I mean, you're still, if you wait till you're 25, uh, you're still going to get paid, and you're going to get paid massive, massive, massive money. He may be, well, you know what I say? He is the most exciting player outside of Major League Baseball right now, bar none.
Mm-hmm. And I think his price is even only going to go up after the World Baseball Classic.
Oh, absolutely.
I have the odd feeling that he's going to be the dude that comes over here, because I think I got to Google it. I want to say the last two MVPs for the World Baseball Classic Dice K won the MVP in 2006 and 2009, and then came over and got all that money. Where did he get the money in 2006?
He got the money previous to that, I believe. I mean,
no, he won the MVP in 2006, and in 2007 right. He came to the Red Sox.
Right. And the thing is, his legend just continues to grow. Mm-hmm. I mean, this is the first year where he became an everyday player. He did hit some in his first 3 seasons, but not regularly. He had 189 at bats, 212 at bats, 109 at bats. This year, he had 323 at bats. So, he's getting basically outside of his pitching, he's getting full-time plate appearances. He played 104 games, and the guy hit 322. Mm-hmm. He's a pitcher.
Yeah, OPS of over 1,000.
Yeah. I mean, he's got holes. He struck out 98 times. So, I mean, the guy's striking out, 30-some% of the time, which is not good. He hit 22 home runs. He's a pitcher. Oh, by the way, he had a 186 ERA in 140 innings and 174 strikeouts.
Yeah, he not only did he win the Cy Young, or that, I'm sorry, I don't know,
whatever it's called. Yeah,
the equivalent of the Cy Young there. He won that. He also won the award for the best DH. So he's kind of good.
And that's the thing is, I mean, it's not in his interest, and it's definitely not in the Nippon Ham fighters' interest for him to come over and minimize the amount of money he can make. Because you could only imagine in the 2019 offseason what teams would be willing to pay for a 25-year-old guy who can pitch the way he pitches and hit the way he hits. Mm-hmm. It would be insane.
Yeah, I think even just based on his pitching alone, I think he's pitching better than Darvish pitched while he was there. I would like to double check that before I say that again, though. Darvish pitched 7 years there, 199 ERA.
Yeah.
0.985 WHIP. He's got a 2.49 ERA and a WHIP a little above 1, but also it's half the time.
Right.
And that's just his pitching.
Yeah.
But see, here's what I don't know. I don't know if he should go to the AL. I don't know if an AL team should want him or an NL team should want him.
I would say, again,
or here maybe if you could, you could like platoon the DH, and maybe only have him bat against righties. I don't know. I don't know if they have splits on.
And that's the thing. And I mean, again, it's so difficult because if you want to bat him every day, he has to go to the AL. Because I mean, he has not shown any ability to play the field whatsoever. Right. He has played previously in his career as an 18 and a 19-year-old. He did play some outfield with a mild level of success. In 2015 and 2016, he has not played the field at all. He's been strictly a DH when he's been not pitching. So it's too early to answer that question. But again, if you want him as an everyday player, then he's got to go to an AL team. For an NL team, I mean, the advantage for an NL team is you have an extra pinch hitter on your bench every day. You don't have to use them. but you have an extra pinch hitter available every single day.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that applies to AL teams too, but
Right. Yeah, I just feel like if you're not getting the full value out of him if he's going to be
no.
all coming off the bench.
And I think the biggest concern and the reason why I think that Ohtani would want to come and try to maximize his earning ASAP is he's a 21-year-old kid who already has 517 innings on his arm.
Yeah.
You know, you throw another 3 seasons on there, and you're going to have a kid who already has over 1,000 innings pitched. So, not saying that makes him more susceptible to injury, but it could give the visualization that he's more susceptible to injuries. Who do you compare Ohtani to in MLB? I agree with Ahegs. I think Bumgarner's probably the closest.
I mean, I don't know because
there really is no comparison.
Yeah, especially batting wise, because I mean, who hit 322 this year, or who hit 300? Like, let's say we take off 50 points. Who hit 270 with 22 home runs this year?
None.
380 at bats.
Yeah, no pitchers. It's for sure.
I mean, he would be a good fourth out. Like with his numbers, he'd be a good fourth outfielder. I think he could probably. I mean, based on just looking at numbers and not actually having seen him play, I feel like he could DH for a few teams.
Yeah.
And I would, if you're an AL team and you can platoon a DH, that would probably be even better. I mean, I don't know his splits, but I assume he has a better split against right-handed pitchers.
I would assume, yeah.
But my main concern is that he comes here, but he goes to a team and the team's like, you're only pitching.
Yeah.
Or you're only hitting. I don't think they would bring him over to only hit, but I think they would bring him over to only pitch.
Yeah. And that is a very fair possibility. You know, again, if this kid comes over, well, he won't be, well, he'll still kind of be a kid. He'll be younger than me, so I'm calling him.
Yeah, he'll still be 25 here.
Yeah. So that's the thing is if he comes over 3 years from now, you know, and gets a gigantic contract, it could come with the possibility that they only want him to pitch because they want to protect their investment.
Yeah.
It's not out of the question. Random question. Do we think Justin Verlander is going to get traded?
I don't know. I feel like the Tigers are kind of all talk this offseason. Oh, we're thinking about moving Miggy. We're thinking about moving Verlander. I feel like neither of them are going to go anywhere.
No. I'm going to answer that hard no. Because I think that the Tigers are too close to being able to win that division to start trading big players at this point. Give them another year of missing the playoffs, and it might be a different story, but I think they still think that they're in it. So
yeah,
why would they?
If they could maybe get something real big with like guaranteed major league talent, like right now,
yeah,
maybe. But I don't think so.
No, and again, let's play devil's advocate for a second and say, sure, they're going to trade Justin Verlander. Where does he go? Who would be interested? You know, he's going to be 34. He's very pricey. You know, what's his value to a team right now? You know, he's owed what's that? That's 50. He's owed over $100 million over the next 4 years.
Yeah, how old is
he? He'll be 34 when the season starts. And then he's owed 28, 28, 28, and 22 million. Although the 22 million is a vesting option, he has 5 in the 2019 Cy Young voting. So
interesting.
It's a considerable investment, $28 million for a guy who's going to be 34. And again, a guy who has a lot of innings, you know, on his arm. And a couple years ago was left for dead. Everybody thought Verlander was done after a horrendous 2014. And then a 2015 and where he was injured. So Verlander's not going anywhere.
Yeah. I also feel like there was talk of like Miggy to the Nationals, Who were we talking about before? I was thinking Jose Abreu would be a good fit for the Nationals, but I assume after this trade went down, they're not going to make another trade with the White Sox. And Nationals aren't going to make another trade.
No, I would say that's probably a fair assessment.
But yeah, I think Jose Abreu would have done there. I mean, Miggy's got a lot of money on that contract. So,
Yeah.
I don't know, but Austin Romine just hit a jack for us out of the 9-hole.
Nice. I think, I think Miggy is probably untradeable at this point. I mean, I wouldn't say anybody's untradeable, but
I mean,
I don't
if you
think
can get if you can get him to take some money, maybe. But
quick hot stove rumor, considering you were just talking about the White Sox. Apparently, Houston and Atlanta are not willing to pay what the White Sox are asking for left-handed starting pitcher Jose Quintana, who is going to get traded. There's another piece the White Sox are going to move.
yeah, again, I don't want the Braves to do anything crazy just to make a move. I would rather they do nothing than do something bad.
Yeah. Again, they're 2-3 years away from being any good.
Yeah.
They're going to be fun to watch.
Yeah, I think I'm going to get you can do the MLB TV subscription for just one team, right?
I don't know. In Canada, you can't. I don't know about it. In Canada, it's an all or nothing deal.
Well, you only have 2 teams in Canada, so do you have? No, you have 1 team in Canada.
We have one team. Yes.
That might be one of those weird things where it's like,
and I would never buy the MLB, the Jays, because 162 games are on Rogers Sportsnet, which is available on pretty much every TV in Canada as long as you have cable.
I'll have to check.
Yeah, I don't know how it works down there. I haven't got MLB TV in a few years. I usually get the radio package, but not the TV package.
Yeah, I feel like the Braves are going to be a good team to watch. Just to see what happens. But I know
I'm excited to watch them.
They're supposedly in on. I don't know what's happened with Sonny Gray. I have not heard any talk about him recently. I don't know if anybody's talking about him anymore.
I think that's something that Atlanta would wait to see. I mean, now that Sale's been traded, that kind of gives them. Not that I'm saying Sonny Gray's Chris Sale, but
there's like
what
they don't have.
Now. Yeah, they don't have to trade Sonny Gray, but now that you see what the market is, it's like, well, if they got this for Chris Sale, well, surely we could get a top prospect and a very good secondary prospect for Sonny Gray, and then those prospects go to Oakland to die.
Yeah. There was talk of Chris Archer is looking to be on the move now. The Braves are talking about him. And I think the Rays are looking to trade any other starting pitchers. Yeah. So I should probably take out Julio Teheran after 124 pitches.
Teheran, the best.
Pitching great for me, though.
I inherited him when I took over my Dynasty Fantasy Baseball team. He was the first trade that I made. I acquired Teheran, and I've had him ever since. I don't have the heart to get rid of him. And it's maybe why I continue to finish last every single year.
I also wonder if that's why the Braves continue to finish last. Oh, Teheran was going for the shutout of the complete game.
Oh, you hosed him.
I just hosed him. Took him out after 8 2/3.
Okay, so
24 pitches though, so I think we're okay.
So final thoughts as we're nearing the top of the hour. Make sure you guys stick around. Adam and Jeff are going to be on with Franchise Hockey Manager 3. What did they say? What are they doing tonight? I saw them tweet it out. Did they say specifically what they're doing?
I always pretend like I know what they're going to do. They're going to be playing Franchise Hockey Manager, I'll tell you that much.
I know they've got a 92-93 franchise on the go. I think that's what they were playing last week. I didn't catch it live, but I caught the YouTube export. So I guess final thoughts. My question to you is, what big move that's not currently being reported do you see being possibility?
I don't know. I feel like I could see Jose Abreu going with somewhere. Do I want to see Miggy go? Well, can I talk about one that's been talked, but I feel like it has not been talked about a lot?
That's fine. A move that would surprise you, even if it's been talked about.
I would be surprised if the Tigers move JD Martinez. There's been some talks that the Giants are interested because the Giants have no outfield.
No,
they have Hunter Pence and Denard Span, and then like 3 guys who I can't even name.
Yeah, 3 guys who are no good.
So, and I think JD Martinez is real good.
I don't disagree.
So any team that could get him would be nice. I do want to see what the Mets do. I feel like that's going to be a big thing. I know they're looking to move Bruce or Granderson. I feel like they really need to figure out that outfield. They keep plugging guys in. I mean, Cespedes is going to be the constant now.
Yeah.
So maybe they look around. I don't know what the deal is with Conforto. I feel like his price has dropped a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff that can happen.
Yeah. My big thing is, and I know it's kind of been reported off and on, and I think Joey Votto is going to be traded.
Really?
Before the spring trainings. Yeah. Because at this point, and I know people are going to be like, well, man, look at how many first basemen are available on the free agent market and all this stuff. But you know what? Somebody is going to make the right offer for Joey Votto because they want Joey Votto. Yes, he has an albatross of a contract. And no, I'm not saying it's going to be Toronto. You guys know how I feel about that. I have a love-hate relationship with those rumors. But I feel like it does Cincinnati absolutely no good to hang on to him at this point.
Mm-hmm.
You are the worst team in the Central.
Are they talking about trading Hamilton too? Or is Hamilton a free agent? I think they're talking about trading him, right?
I think they're talking about trading him, but I don't think there's going to be much for takers. He's a one-trick pony at this point.
Yeah, I just don't know how much the Reds are going to have to swallow because...
Well, but the thing is, if you're them, are you better off taking a bit of a hit and getting rid of them? Because, like I said, with Joey Votto, you're still the sixth best team in a six-team division. There's only 5 teams in that division now, isn't there?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're still the 5th best team in a 5-team division. Yeah, they're the 6th best team in a 5-team division.
Yeah, they're going to pay him $22 million next year, and then $25 million from 2018 to 2023. Yeah. And there's a team option for 2024 at $20 million.
So maybe Joey Votto keeps you from losing 100 games. Maybe you only lose 98 because he's in the lineup. You know that. I don't see it at this point.
What we need to see is Japan make a big splash and come in and sign something.
I like it. There you go. You heard it here on the Out of the Park Developments stream.
Yeah. I want the DNA Baystars to sign Bryce Harper in 2018.
I like it.
They have lots of money. I had my business analyst friend look. They have lots of money. They make lots of money. Bryce Harper would make you lots of money. Just saying.
Hey, you know what? You heard it here first, guys. Bryce Harper is going to Japan in 2 years' time.
I mean, you probably get a lot of yen for money.
Oh my jumpins, he'd be worth about 3 billion yen. Let's see, what is for
a lot.
It is. Why is it stupid? The numlock button is the worst button.
How much yen? No, how many?
Oh, I can't look at Canadian dollar. It's worth holy majolies.
40 million yen is.
Well, 400 million is 45 billion, 400 million yen.
That's a lot of money.
Wow. So yeah, if he was making 40 million a season, that would be 4 billion yen.
I mean, there's a lot of fans there. That would be a lot of jersey sales. You make a iOS game with his name on it. You make a lot of money.
If Bryce Harper went to Japan, it would be the biggest thing ever to happen, probably in all of baseball.
Also, we unlocked Hit Machine.
I saw that. It's been up there for a little while, and I did see it.
We've been having a great conversation.
This has been a great show, and I knew it was only going to be an hour long, so perfect.
It's always perfect. Yeah, guys, don't forget you can follow us on Twitter at OOTP Baseball. Also on Facebook, facebook.com/OOTP Baseball. And definitely follow the YouTube channel, youtube.com/OOTP Developments. That's where the archives of all the streams and other stuff goes up. You can follow me personally on Twitter at ThatSportsGamer. You can follow SnaggleJ at SnaggleJ on Twitter. At SnaggleJ on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. So I highly recommend you guys do that. Chris, thank you very much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
And we're going to hand you guys off to Adam and Jeff and the Franchise Hockey Manager Show.
Make sure you stick around.
Take it easy, folks.